Hello and welcome to A Stitch in Time. Today is Tuesday, February 6, 2018, and this is episode 47. My name is Carol and I am known as Knits and Pearls on Ravelry. The show notes for this and every episode can be found on the blog and also in the episode thread in the Ravelry group. The best ways to get a hold of me are via private message on Ravelry or by leaving me a comment in YouTube. So if you've got any questions, by all means, send them my way and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So we'll see if this week's podcast is straight. I realized last week this was all crooked, but it's hard to tell on my little screen. So hopefully I'm not like this. This is probably going to be the shortest episode ever. I don't have a lot of content this week, and I might actually be able to finish before my tea goes cold, which is a very rare occurrence. So don't get too comfortable. You won't be here for very long. I have a little bit of knitting to talk about, a little bit about what's been going on this past week, but most importantly, I have a couple of prize winners to announce. So let's start with that, shall we? So the first winner I'm going to announce is our latest winner in the Agatha Christie along. This is a knit along, crochet along that has been running for the past year, and it officially came to a close on January 31st. So a huge thank you to all of you who participated in that. It was fun while it lasted. So the final winner for the Agatha Christie along is NMaria Wolf, also known as Maria. She lives in Denmark and she entered for her tea and scandal socks. So Maria, congratulations. Please get hold of me on Ravelry. Send me a private message and let me know which pattern you would like, up to a value of $10 US that is giftable on Ravelry, and I will get that into your mailbox as soon as possible. So again, congratulations and thanks for everyone who participated in that knit along over the course of the past year. The next winner I would like to announce is for the Podiversary giveaway. That includes this beautiful skein of lace weight yarn from West Yorkshire Spinners that was donated by a very generous podcast viewer. And your choice of project bags that were sewn by me. So there's this choice of this Victorian style fabric with a paisley kind of print on the bottom. Or this one kind of looks like doilies. And it has this, oh, there's a word for this type of fabric. I can't think of what it is. There it is, and it's lined with this fabric there. So thanks for all your understanding for all the kerfuffle about posting on the blog, but I did hear from some of you on YouTube and Ravelry, and I have put everybody's names on pieces of paper and put them in my yarn bowl, and I'm about to draw the prize on air. So the winner of the Podiversary prize is, I don't know how to say it, Mvdd mid, and that was an entry that was on Ravelry. And so please get in touch with me via private message on Ravelry. Let me know which of these two project bags that you would like. And also please send me your mailing information, and then I will get those in the mail to you as soon as possible. So congratulations, Mid Mvdd. And thanks for everybody who played along and has made my first year so special. So thank you. All right, I think I will have a little sip of tea before we get into things. So a couple of you I talked about this sweater, Gabbro. I was wearing it last week. And I mentioned that what I realized, what I didn't like about it was the hemline, and a couple of you pointed out that of course you couldn't really see it on the podcast. So I thought I would just talk a little bit more about it and show you this hemline. You see, so it rises up in the front and the back, and then it comes down in a curve on each side. And this lace pattern, oh, there's my doorbell. Anyway, that was my younger son. He just dropped by to drop something off. So anyway, as I was saying, Gabbro has this shaped hemline, and then down one side it has this lace pattern that is just this one repeat as it goes down the side, and then it has this continuation of it, just kind of spreads out over this side. So what I realized is that I'd be a lot happier with this if it just had a more traditional bottom. And so I'm going to take it back, because how this is done is with short rows. I don't know if you can tell that on screen. So I think I'll take it back to where the short rows begin. Decide if I might just leave this side panel just narrow, or if I decide to take this pattern somehow across the bottom of the sweater. I'm not sure yet, but I'm just going to basically take it back a little bit and then give it a more traditional hemline. And then I think I would wear it, because I do like the rest of the sweater. It fits well, and I think the sleeves are really cute with the lace and the little, you know, slant on them. It's just that bottom part that I just really don't care for. So there, so you will see this redone one of these days. I have one finished project this week, which I wasn't really expecting, but I had lots of plain knitting, not plain P-L-A-N-E, but plain P-L-A-I-N knitting time this past week. And so I finished my Nyan socks. There they are. And they are knit from Black Cat custom yarn everyday sock in the Nyan colorway. And it's interesting, I always find it interesting how hand-dyed yarns knit up. You can see how these kind of blend quite well here, and then you start to see some diagonal color pooling as the socks progress after the heel. And then when I cast on the second one, it did that like the whole way. You can even see a bit of pooling here and here. So it's kind of funny, they don't really look a lot alike on the legs, but it's the same yarn. They'll be good. I haven't blocked them or anything. I just finished them on Sunday afternoon, and so yeah, just need to throw them in, give them a quick bath, and then I'll wear them. So that's that for. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of where I'm going to put these. I always start gathering little piles of things around me as I talk about them. I have one work in progress, and I've done quite a bit on it. I showed this to you last week. This is Dusty Road, which is this sweater pattern by Carol Feller. And that's kind of a look from the front. And this morning I actually finished casting off the bottom. So it's kind of it's not exactly a boat neck, it's just a very shallow round neck with lace sleeves, and then this lace pattern runs down the side, each side, and then it just goes to the bottom. Has a kind of a, I guess, a garter ribbed hemline You can see ends hanging down. I have actually woven them in. I just haven't trimmed them. I won't trim them till after I've blocked it. Now, the pattern gives you two options on how to finish the neckline. You can just leave it raw as is and it will roll. Or you can do an I-cord bind off. And I actually also have already done it and then taken it out. I did the I-cord bind off. The pattern said to use the larger needles for it. And so I did, but I found it just a little bit too loose. So I'm actually going to redo the I-cord bind off with the smaller needles, which in this case is a 3.25 millimeter. And I think I'll be happier with how it lays. So I've tried this on. It fits really nicely. I think I'm going to be really happy with this one. The pattern has 3/4 length sleeves. I'll get there and then I'll decide if I want to make them full length or not. I don't tend to really like quarter length as a rule. The Gabbro has 3/4 length and they're not bad. But I often will wear, you know, sweaters and things, and I like things down to my wrists. So we'll see. But yeah, anyway, very happy with that. I think it's a bit brighter showing the color than it is in real life. It's better back here than when I bring it up close. So it's more like this. And the yarn is Malabrigo Arroyo. And it's in 872 Porporous. So I love knitting with this. It's such a beautiful, soft yarn, and I just love all the shades of purple in here. It's gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to getting going on. I'll do the neckline over, and then I'll get to work on the sleeves. So, yep, very enjoyable project. And that's it for my knitting. I do need to cast on another pair of plain stockinette socks at some point. And also yesterday, the first pattern for Helen Stewart's Handmade Sock Society was released. It's called the Winter Rose Socks. And they look like that. So it's just a very simple lace sock. So I need to go through my stash and find a yarn for it. Now it's based on, or was inspired by, Winter Rose, or is it Hellebore? Hellebore? I looked it up on the internet. I don't know if we have those here or not. It's not a flower I'm familiar with, but they come in all sorts of really pretty colors. So I'm going to try and find a yarn that is similar to one of the very many shades that they come in, and then knit those up, and they look pretty straightforward. So that will be coming up in the near future. And boring, I'm still reading, or actually not reading much, The Murder in the Mews, also called Dead Man's Mirror, by Agatha Christie. I have now read 2 out of the 4 stories in here, so a little under half to go. All right, that's it. I told you it's going to be short. What's been going on in my life this week? Not very much. Well, that's not exactly true. It's just that not many things. Wednesday evening, we went over to see my granddaughter and give her her birthday present, and she was very happy with her gloves and her hat. The hat fit just how I was hoping it would, just more slouchy on her than it was on me, and her gloves fit perfectly, and she seemed very happy. So yay for that. Then on Thursday night, we had curling, and our team won, which doesn't happen very often. I think that might only be our 2nd win this year. So that was exciting, and especially we played against a really good team. Now, in all fairness, they were not playing their best that evening. but still, and we played quite well. So it was cool to win for a change, and win handily, actually. So that was good. And then more curling on the weekend, not for me, but for my husband and his team. My brother-in-law is on his curling team, so he and my brother-in-law and my sister, and then the 2 other members of the team all went out of town for a bonspiel. It's a little town called Princeton. It took us almost exactly 2 hours to drive there, and we were in just a motel across the street from the curling rink, so that was perfect. We didn't have to drive anywhere. And so they played one game Friday night, which they lost, so that put them into B division. And then they won their 2 games on Saturday, which put them in the playoff for B on Sunday at noon. And funnily enough, they actually were playing another team from Chilliwack that it actually was a combination of 2 teams that they play on Thursday night. So the 2 teams squared off, and it was a close game, but unfortunately our guys did not win. But they felt pretty good about coming in second in B. As my brother-in-law said, if you'd asked us at the beginning of the weekend, or told us that that's where we would end, we'd be pretty pleased about that. So my sister and I enjoyed watching them curl. We thought the other 2 other halves of the rest of the team might have joined us, but they're not curlers, and they really probably wouldn't have found it as interesting or entertaining as we did, and so they decided to stay home, and I think they got together Saturday night themselves. But we had a nice time, and then sort of in our downtime, we went out for dinner one night, and we had some snacks and drinks in the hotel room and stuff. So we had a really nice weekend together. The roads were good for traveling. That's always a concern at this time of year. They did have snow on the ground up there, and the parking lots were kind of a mess, but the roads themselves were clear, so that was good. And we actually saw a little bit of sunshine, which we have not seen around here for a while. It's raining again today. I had sort of thought I might get out for a walk today, and I have to tell you, I wasn't too disappointed to see it was raining, and then that just made up my mind. If it clears up, I might go for a walk later. I did go yesterday, so feeling virtuous. And last night I got together with some of my lady friends. We get together once a month, and we realized it's been since 2002. We started out with a group of 11 of us, I think 5 or 6 of us that used to work together. And over the years we've had a few members come and go, but we still have our the people who are left are from the original 11. There's 7 of us now. So we hadn't managed to get together in January. The woman who was going to host it was sick last week, so we postponed it. But it was really nice to see everyone after Christmas and catch up on lives. One of the women who I used to work with, her daughter is having twins in June, so that's very exciting. That's their first grandchildren, and I've sort of seen her daughter grow up over the years, so that's really cool to see her sort of embark on a new stage of her life. Our kids really, well, we grow up, so they grow up, right? And then my younger sister's also in this group, and she learned yesterday that she was accepted for a new teaching position here in town. She used to teach at this school, and just for a variety of reasons transferred. I didn't realize it had been 7 years ago, but she's been commuting now for 7 years and is ready to teach again closer to home. So she was very excited to get this position. So now she's going to be doing the countdown for, I don't know if she'll do it by day or by week, but I'm glad for her. When she first started, she didn't mind the commute. It was probably at that time about an hour or so by, well, maybe a little more, by highway. And over the years, the traffic's just gotten a lot heavier. And like she said yesterday going in, there was an accident, so she was delayed a half an hour, and she's just having too many of those kinds of experiences, and a good chunk of her day is getting eaten up by commuting. So I was really happy to hear that. So yay. And that's about it. Yeah, there's not much going on over the next week, which is just fine with me. I'm ready for a little bit of a week. We do have to go to a memorial service tomorrow afternoon, and then I have curling on Thursday evening, but beyond that, there's really nothing in the plans, and that suits me fine. So that's it. I'm gonna leave it there. So again, Maria and Maria Wolf, please contact me with which pattern you would like for the Agatha Christie along. And again, don't know how to pronounce this name, and there was no sort of real name on her Ravelry. So please also get in touch with me via Ravelry with which project bag you would like, and give me your address and mailing info, and I'll get your prize out to you as soon as possible. So thank you as always for watching. Thank you as always for your comments and feedback. I'm always very appreciative of those. And yeah, just thanks for tuning in every week. So have yourselves a great week. I should be back probably next Wednesday, if all goes as planned. So I'll see you then. And until then, take care and happy knitting. Bye.